I'm gonna have to break out a new piece of sandpaper.
No, you're not.
I'm sanding, Case. This takes a lot of elbow grease. I'm sanding, man, sanding. Huh?
I don't think you were sanding.
I am sanding. Look at this. The Sandy Man can. Sandy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with lava, makes the world taste good.
Oh, he does it.
He does it? Kind of contrary, that boy. Well, I gotta tell you, this is tiring.
No, you don't.
Why are you so contrary?
I like being contrary.
You like being contrary? All right, so I'm sanding like crazy, but I am getting it. Just got to keep doing it for a while.
What are you doing?
I'm sanding. Well, I think I got this looking fairly good, but I did have to break down and put on a new piece of sandpaper. A new sandpaper, so excited about it. Okay, so anyway, it does look pretty good. You can see I got a little low there, a little bit low here, but I think I can still sand on this and take more of it out. So I'll sand this down more and see when it feathers out and the steel starts to break through. This side's about the same thing. Right over here, it's a little low. That kind of smooths right out. I think that'll smooth out and actually work. Oh, I can tell the difference with sandpaper already. It's got some bite. I tend to be too cheap sometimes and not change my paper enough. Oh yeah. And this is 40 grit, by the way. I kind of got the feeling it's a little bit of a high spot here. So I'm going to keep working that down until it blends into that. Am I doing the right thing? I don't know. But I'm just going to keep doing it. Well, that sure peeled up a pile of dust. Look at that. And the dust with using this sander, it doesn't really fly around, so I don't feel bad about not wearing a mask. When you put the DA on or, powered sander, it throws dust in the air and everything, you gotta kind of wear a mask. Well, that feels good. That feels a little high there. Look at that pile. Woo! All right, guess I'll make some more of that. There's a little roll down over the edge I'm trying to duplicate. Don't know if I'm doing any good at it, but for the most part, the metal's good here, I'm not trying to build it up, I'm trying to fill out the low spot. Oh, that feels good. 80 grit on the DA ought to finish that up. Yep, I do believe. So that side's good. It's hard because there's a line here. I don't want any swoops and dips in the line. It's hard to get right. It really is. I mean, for me it is. I'm sure there's guys out there who can do it automatically, but that ain't me. I gotta work at it. So what's this all feel like? Wow, there's a lot of dust right there. This feels really smooth right through here. Right here is a little edgy, but I'll get that with the DA. I think we're in good shape. Woo-wee! And I don't have to add any more putty, I don't think. This right here is built up a little high still. And you can see where this is showing me a low spot because it's still the original putty color, which means between that steel and this over here, the sander didn't touch any of that. So I'm gonna have to work on this a little more. glow right there. Still shows the blue. Just starting to see metal there. I think I gotta stop. I have this at a point now where even this spot right here, by the time this is 40 grit sanded out, by the time I hit it with 80 grit, I'll be down enough to where this will just start poking through. This will be mostly gone, and I'm gonna prime it. I'm gonna see if I can't get rid of this edge here that's kind of built up. Maybe get rid of this low spot here and this low spot here. And if I can do that, if by some miracle I can get that done, I want to putty it again. So, let's go. That feels good from there to there. That feels a little low still. This edge is still way built up everywhere, so that's the problem. I don't know if I got a little dent here. I think I got the 8-inch rotary out. Well, I got this hog out. Let's see what this does. That's got 40 grit on it too, so I'm really gonna tear it up. Mainly I'm just gonna go through here with it, try to get this edge knocked down. This looks like it came out pretty good. This is all kind of good, it feels good. That's a little low, but this is all high because I can feel the edge of the putty is higher. The sound of 2 junk compressors running. Whew. Anyway, I've got just a little bit of a low spot here. The rest of it feels really good, and I'm finally getting this feathered out. Now, I'm going 2 different directions with the sandpaper, because I figure if you just keep sanding one direction all the time, you're kind of just running through the same ruts. Once I go this way, now I'm doing a crosshatch. That seems to take it down a little quicker, but man, I'm getting a little winded all this work. And it's starting to feather out here, where I don't feel the edge anymore. I think that's gonna be pretty nice. Well, I think this area is ready to hit with the DA and 80 grit, smooth it out. Still a little low there, so I might put a little dab of putty there. I can barely feel it, but I can see a little bit where the sandpaper didn't get down in that far. So I know it's a low spot. I've got this low spot right here that I filled in, and I started sanding it right away. You can see that's high because it's turning white. But I gotta sand the rest of that out, get that tuned up. Now, if you look at this close, and I hope you can on my new camera, which I'm not so sure about, that there's a low spot. You can see where it's still blue, and right here's an edge where the putty's just a little higher than what's next to it. You can see just a little bit there where it's got to get sanded down some more. Other than that, I'm pretty close. A little blue here, but I can take care of that too. So it looks like we're getting things sanded out fairly decent. I think I'm ready for 80 grit just about. Maybe I'll just hit it with the hog real quick. Gotta be careful, so I don't overdo it with this. I'm holding it real flat, and I'm moving kind of quick and moving around a lot, because I don't want it gouging in any one place and creating another low spot. I think I got that just about out, and that feels pretty good. A little high right there. Let me just see if I can take it out. Gone. Nice. That's about it. I'm gonna hit that a little bit more with the sanding board. I think I'm getting close to ready to prime this thing. Okay, I'm sanding and I'm cleaning and I'm sanding and cleaning, and then I stumbled into a new dilemma. Now, I thought I had this fixed, and if you look at this gap, pretty wide up here, and also the fender is higher than the door. So I'm thinking it has to come down, but what I noticed is, and this is gonna be ugly for painting, this door sticks out further than the fender. Down here it's even, up here it sticks out, and up here it's kind of in a little bit. Now I got more sanding to do and stuff because I still got shiny spots and whatnot. Oh boy, I'll be sanding this forever. Anyway, I'm not sure what to do. It looks like I'm gonna have to push the fender down to bring it down in line with the door. But the door is high on this side. Right here, you can see the gap I got here. Now if I run over to the other side, that's the gap I have here. And that's much wider. I'll probably have to do a hood adjustment eventually. We'll have to see. But I can't paint it this way because if I do, if you watch that real close, the door is scrubbing. You can even hear it. It scrubs right here. And that'll chip the paint off quicker, lickety split. So what am I gonna do? I gotta somehow fix that. There, you can see it. It moves the fender. Oh man, what a glitch. Now that also might go away once the car's down on its 4 wheels and not suspended on perches there. You know, there's a lot of overhang and dangle going on. It's kind of flexing the car. How I think I'm gonna fix it is, look at all the shims I have in here. It's kind of crazy. There's probably 12 of them. It jacks it up 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna see if I can pull a couple shims out, see if that improves it. Okay, I struggled and fought and struggled and pull a couple of these shims out. Now, these are what you call body shims. Holy smokes, they're like 4 inches long. And I pulled 4 of them out. They look to be, I don't know, looks like 16ths. Yeah, they're like 3/32. Yeah, that's what they are, 3/32. So I pulled 4 of them out. So that would be 12/32. What's that? 6/16 or 3/8. Yeah, looks about right. Anyway, math. So I got this just about even now. And guess what? The door does not hit anymore. It must have been pulling it up and bringing that in. Because right now, if I open the door, just barely touches. So it does still touch, which means I have more to do. Well, I'll have to figure this out. Why is it doing this to me? Well, I was just about to go down below and start monkeying around with the bolts on the bottom, which I really didn't want to do, but I remembered. I got to put the bolt in the top first. So I did. I put the bolt in top, snugged it down, it pushed the fender down a little bit more, and I think it sprung it out to where now it works. Look at that. No more too tight. Awesome. Killed 2 birds, 1 stone. Now I knew I had to do that anyway. I just didn't get around to it, and then I saw the door was scrubbing. Now the gap still looks kind of crappy. Real wide up top, tight at the bottom, a little bit goofy here. I got to do some sanding yet, clean that up, because that is full of putty, you know. But clean that up, sand it, and I got to sand these doors off, and I think I can prime this thing. Okay, guys, we got to get this thing primed up. I got bare metal sitting here. Now, it's nice and warm in my barn, and it's, you know, about 68 in here, which feels really, really warm. And it's middle of winter, so the air is pretty low humidity. So that's all good stuff. So I'm not really too worried about the metal, but I am getting it cleaned up, kind of gouged up and stuff. So we're going to have to do some priming, surfacing, and some spot putty work still. But I think I gotta get some primer on this thing. So the first thing I do before I gotta get primer on it is I gotta wipe it down. And I got this wax and grease remover that I got in a little spray bottle. And I think it works pretty good. And I'll just use some paper towels. That way I can throw them away with all the junk on them. I got on Auto Body Tool Mart and bought this Prep All wax and grease remover. I don't know, it seems to work just like all the other wax and grease removers I've used in the past. So I don't think there's anything special about this stuff. Wax and grease remover removes road film, all that stuff. Now I already wiped this car down before I started sanding, because once you start sanding, you're just, if you do have wax and grease and all that stuff, you're just smashing it around and grinding it in. So I always do that before I would do anything. As first step is wash the car off, wipe it down with this stuff and get it cleaned up. It's really dirty, but I got like, there's metal. You can see it in the gray in here. There's actually a little bit of metal there. All kinds of body putty dust and stuff. So I want to get that all off this car. Actually, it feels pretty smooth and silky. It really does seem like it's coming up pretty nice. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, look at all that junk right there. Anyway, I dragged out my paint guns. So what I did is I took a board. I have 2 of these, but I lost one. I don't know where it went. I thought I'll hook it to a board. And I also drilled some holes in it. And now I can just store my paint guns here like this. They stand right in that. So that works out pretty good. I got a couple paint guns there. I got a couple more paint guns. They're all cheap ones and old ones. These are old. They're heading for 40 years old, 35 years old. The only thing really going wrong with them is the tops. They're cracking. These are like a rubberized plastic, and they're starting to get kind of chintzy. Now this one's a 1.9 nozzle, and this is a 1.5. This is a 1.4. This cheesy gun that I got from Harbor Freight. It was like 12 bucks or something. I mean, really cheap. And I use it already. I can see why they're cheap. There's plastic parts in there. And these will never get the longevity of these ones. So, and these were Astros, as I recall. The HVL P01. These guns have been great. They were cheap and they're consistent. They shoot good. I've always cleaned them up good and they've treated me pretty well. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. So, next thing we'll be doing is epoxy primer on this here Caddy. So, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you on the next one.